Dan Jessup here with Jessup Chevrolet in Cathedral City, California. It's a cloudy, overcast April day, April quarantined day. I'm up on the roof of my family's dealership where we store all of our new cars, although anybody watching can tell that Pontiac Solstice is not a new car. All my new cars get delivered and stored up here above the Chevrolet store, and so that's why I'm here, because dropped off yesterday was a Corvette C8, and you can see it peeking out behind that Silverado. And as we got closer to it, I got to tell you, the first thing that was, more and more obvious to me was that supercar look, that car, that the C8 mid-engine has. Just looking at that front end, seeing a little bit more, those base wheels. It is a Z51. And there she is. It's got some of its plastic wrapping still on it. It has not gone through the PDI process. You can tell by the lug nuts, the hubcap is not on, the plastic on the mirrors. This 2020 Corvette C8 is a Z51 3LT package. Base wheels are on it because we ordered the LPO black wheels. Those have yet to be installed on it. So this is just a little bit of a look. There's the black interior, all plasticed up. Tough to tell, but you can see the carbon fiber, visible carbon fiber roof. So that means this car is also going to get the visible carbon fiber rocker panels, front and rear spoiler. And so this is a little preview of the car before it's gone through the PDI process. So I'll bring more to you as it gets through the service department and the accessories get installed. So stay tuned. Hi everybody, Dan Jessup here with Jessup Auto Plaza, and we're going to pick up on the videoing of our third Corvette 2020 C8 mid-engine going through the pre-delivery inspection here at Jessup Auto Plaza. Brendan Monetachi, been with us a little over 5 years. Brendan is our Cadillac roadside service technician. So he provides all roadside assistance to our Cadillac customers that we actually extend to any Jessup Auto Plaza customer. Drives around in a roadside service Escalade, but he also does all new car PDI processes. And here he is excited. He's doing his third Corvette C8, and we're learning a little bit of things here. So Brendan, how are you doing?
I'm doing good today. How are you doing, Dan?
All right, you excited?
Yeah.
What do you think of the new Corvette?
I love it. Beautiful car. Wicked car. One of my favorites. And I love it. It's a monster.
It sure is, right?
It's a monster.
Completely different. Have you ever worked on a mid-engine Corvette before?
I've never worked on a mid-engine Corvette before. Actually, I actually never worked on any mid-engine vehicle before. First one's for me.
So from a technician standpoint, I think a lot of people want to know, how easy is it to access? I mean, what's it like to work on a mid-engine, get in there versus having the engine up front in a normal hood?
Well, from my experience, the mid-engine design that they do for the vehicles, it's based on performance mostly. So minus the torque tube that the original Corvette had, which is a lot of inertia. They deleted that and put it in the back. So they have basically just engine to the drivetrain direct. There's no inertia getting in the way.
No loss of power.
No loss of power. It's just straight to the wheels.
Yeah.
So
Probably more of an efficient design.
way more efficient, yeah. And performance-wise, it was a good move that they did.
So how's that? Kind of the access. What do you find getting in and trying to access the engine? Have you had? I mean, obviously we haven't had to do any work or any service work on them, but from just an initial, technician standpoint, having to say check the fluids, for example, have you found that to be any more difficult in a mid-engine than in the front?
No, I found it's not much more difficult than it is in the front. They designed it to where you can easily access, checking your fluids, and I know they have the brake fluid reservoir on the front of the vehicle still. So when you pop the trunk, you can get to the reservoir there. You can see your fluid. It's just maybe a little bit more of a reach than having the engine on the front, but overall they designed it pretty accessible for you to, check your fluids, and they made it fairly simple.
Cool. This vehicle, which is a 2020 3LT Z51, you could tell by the Z51 brake calipers. This is a 3LT, as I may have mentioned, black on black with almost every option available, including some LPO accessories like the wheels, which we're going to talk about here in a second. But one of the most notable features is the high wing spoiler. Walk us through a little bit of what you had to do to take off the low standard spoiler on the C8 and install the high wing spoiler. What were some of the things that you had to do? How easy, how hard was it?
So on this one, it was actually fairly difficult because one, you can see there's no access points to be able to get to the rear spoiler that was on there prior to the high wing. So first thing I had to do was obviously check SI for how I'm going to start to find access points. So the first step they told me to is I had to access the fender wheels, obviously to remove the retainer screws and clips there. So basically we're going to pull the rear fascia off the vehicle in order to access the prior wing. And fortunately for me, on this one, they had already had the previous wing where it was already pre-drilled, so I didn't have to apply a template and drill my own screws.
So is a high wing actually using the same attachment points as the previous spoiler?
Yes.
It is.
It's using the same points.
So each one of these sit where the old spoiler attached.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
There's two studs that go through the holes, and there's also an adhesive underneath there to help seal for water and debris. So it stays pretty sealed. So those were already there. So those it's basically just a bolt-on wing. So no drilling on this one.
But what you did have to do was remove the entire rear fascia.
Yes, I had to pull it off. So the inside here, there were the access points for, all the retainer screws to pull the fascia off and disconnect the lights and such. So the whole entire rear fascia has to be removed in order to get access to the bolts.
To get access to those bolts to take off the spoiler.
Yeah, to remove it.
And then while it was off, you reinstall the high wing spoiler.
Mm-hmm. So it was very, very cool, very fun for me to do. Being in my first one, I was excited. Right here is the original that was on there before.
Okay, that's the original spoiler. That was the standard spoiler, if you will, that came on the vehicle.
Yeah.
So flip that over, if you don't mind. So matching up these access points, not access points, but the
Mounting points.
Those are mounting points.
Yeah.
Were the same as the high wing, same spot.
Yep, same exact spot.
So that's the part number. Look at that. See if I can get some focus on that. Made in the USA. God bless America, right?
That's right.
Okay.
That was right.
Okay, that's cool. So that's the original spoiler turns into the high wing spoiler. How long did it take you? I mean, obviously, I'm not asking you to rush the job on a Corvette. Just wondering, how long did it take you to do that rear spoiler? And obviously, you'll probably get better and quicker as you get along. But how long did it take you?
This one took me taking my time and making sure I was careful and meticulous, as I like to be. It took me about an hour and a half, hour and 45 total time to do it. Have it off, replace the bumper, clean the adhesive from the previous one, and then apply the new one. It took me about an hour and a half.
How did you feel that engineering-wise was once you got in there, did everything kind of work as it should?
Everything was simplified, as a race car should be. As a race car should be. They did a good job of making it fairly simple to do.
Okay.